there's a great show out there, Samuel. It's Star Trek Continues, and I really think, and I said it, and I completely agree with you. Give something back to the old fan. CBS should back Star Trek Continues. Talk to Vic. I'm sure that cast would love to stay on and work on that show and put it on All Access. So that way, the TOS fan will have something on All Access, new episodes of Star Trek Continues, and then we all have Star Trek 2017. I, for one, would be over the moon. Like, you know what I mean? I love Star Trek Continues. It's nice. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong. You know, and I can understand these fans, the old fans. There's just something beautiful about seeing the old bridge, the old corridors, the old uniforms, the old tech. It's just something nostalgia. Beautiful. Yes. And the script for Star Trek Continues is absolutely fantastic. So I would really, if like CBS, like, you know, you're on All Access, it's your network, it's your platform. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. Reach out.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea. And like the big appeal to the diehard fans is when they see this old Trek, it brings them back to a time when they were kids and stuff like that. And it's hard to let that go. But I know a lot of our discussions now, I know it's been a couple of weeks since the trailer, but still there's theories flying around in our unofficial fan page and stuff like that. But there's all these conversations of if this, if that, but we don't know really. And I know for a fact, and I hate seeing criticism towards Discovery as regards to the people making it. I know there's executive decisions in there as well, but there's a lot of diehard fans making Star Trek Discovery. And if we go back to your point earlier about Enterprise, a lot of people were very critical about Enterprise at the time, but they didn't know what Enterprise had planned for the preceding seasons. And if you knew that at the time, I'm going to give it a bit of leeway here.
Well, that's why story can make it make sense. If they give the Klingons a reason, a really cool explanation, then it's absolutely fine. It's just that's why we have the surface level understanding now. But if they give a cool story, then that's absolutely go for it.
And the whole thing with the canon part is like, if you were paying attention to casting news, there's been Klingons casted very late. So, you know what I mean? And these Klingons that we've seen from the trailer, which is obviously episode 1 and 2, were signed up ages ago. They were one of the first casts. So does that not say something? Like, you know what I mean? If you were going to have the Klingons probably looking like this the whole way through, would not all these actors been signed up at the same time to have all this makeup work done? I would say so. So, well, not necessarily, but
not with a long season. I mean, you don't have scripts finalised of the later stuff until necessarily.
We don't know. This mightn't be, you know what I mean, how all the Klingons are going to look. Maybe it is, but you know what I mean. There's no point throwing the toys out of the pram already on a trailer. You know, it's very and there was like the Klingon death chant was absolutely fantastic seeing that. You know what I mean, and that is a direct link to Star Trek that we all love. And like. We morphed at that cry. So,
well, one thing I do want to ask you guys, I know there's a companion show to this kind of discussing the show after it airs for each episode, kind of like the Talking Dead for The Walking Dead. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I think that show's probably more damage control for the people that aren't happy with the visual way they went. It should actually be called Star Trek Discovery Damage Control. I think that's what they should name the show, because that'd be awesome. But I want to get your thoughts on that. Do you think it's something that's needed? I mean, to be honest, that's our job, guys. Pay us to do that.
You live right there, Stuart. We could just go film for a couple of weeks and get the content. It's fine. There you go. Yeah. We'd do it for free.
I like being involved in the community, and I like being a commentator. Yes. It's my hobby. It's a passion, and I love interacting with people. And it was one of the things that I got out of the trailer, the hype. The day they launched the trailer, the hype was just crazy, and it was fun to be a part of. But I just think it's just the way like digital TV is now, that there's like the Talking Dead, Trek Talk. There's always, and Game of Thrones, Thronecast or whatever it was called. These shows normally have this companion show onto it, and I think it's good, you know, because it'll start people to talk about the show after the show, and it'll get them, you know, okay, maybe I look into that a little bit more and go online and find you guys and find us, because like myself and Chris, we're going to be doing the Nerd Escape, and we're going to be doing the videos. I'm sure you are on the episodes and what they mean, and dive probably too deep into it. But listen, it's all fun and games. It's all for, pardon my French, shits and giggles, basically.
Shinsus and giggles.
Shinzus and giggles. Oh, okay. new
Shinzus
nerd
and
unlocked.
Tribbles.
Shinzus and tribbles. But you know, would I like to be involved in it? Yeah. We've called out CBS in our podcast. Well, like, listen, if you want two Irish lads to come over, no problem at all. But I think it's only good because the way that they're doing this distribution, I know it's a fiery subject. People are like, keep Star Trek free. It was never free. You know, Netflix isn't free over here. You know, maybe you don't have Netflix in America, but get CBS All Access or whatever.
When has TV ever been free for anybody?
Never. Like, that's the ridicule of some of the comments out there. Now, listen, I don't bash anyone for having an opinion as long as it's informed and respectful. But I just think it's silly having conversations like that. And that's my opinion about basically why Star Trek I think is going to be a success. Because of the way it's going to be sent out, it'll be on CBS All Access. I think maybe the next day it'll be on Netflix, and it'll be in everyone's house, and everyone can talk about it at the same time.
Kabir, look, everyone's gone on about the price per month. For that price, you're getting TOS, TNG, DS9, Voyager, the movies on your TV that you can watch at any time you like. Now that ain't bad value. Plus, you're getting a new episode a week.
But guys, you're saying that, but the fact is, I've said this to my granddad who came recently, none of us here can get CBS All Access. We might all have Netflix, so we'll all be watching it on the other platform, as is the rest of this world. And the fact is, TV, you can make it in two ways. Either the week by week, so you have a cliffhanger maybe, or you have that flow, so you know, a week to process. But as soon as that finishes airing, for the rest of human history, you can binge watch all episodes in one day. So this is the shortest time frame to think about this. As soon as they're done, it doesn't matter where they aired. They'll be on that streaming service. It makes no difference. Yeah. Watch on Netflix for the rest of the world, or if you're in, you know, for America, either wait or pay those few bucks, or like I say, just wait 16 weeks or whatever. You know, it really isn't a big deal in this short space of time. It really isn't.
And no, I don't want to be what would be geoist. But it's normally the other way around, that America always gets it first, and like, you know, we don't get it. So it's kind of, and I'm probably going to get hate for it. It's kind of funny sometimes when I hear these conversations, because it's just flipped on its lid. But I do agree with you. It's going to get to everyone one way or another. But like, you know, be it on, was it Crave TV in Canada, Bell Media, CBS All Access, and Netflix. It's going to probably get into most people's homes.
I'll throw, you know, Game of Thrones, first season, it was the most pirated show on TV, on the internet. You know, it was the most pirated, and guess what? It soared because it got in people's homes. Star Trek Discovery will be one of those pirated shows in America because it's not as easy to access, and it'll be really popular. And then they'll watch it when it's out on DVD. They'll buy the DVDs, and it will get a season 2. It's already profitable because of Netflix buying it, and they'll improve the canon elements in season 2, and we'll like it more. And then by season 3, we'll like it even more. And by season 4, they'll have a movie and. It'll be the Discoveryverse. And
if it gets cancelled early in season 4, then Netflix will just buy it and continue making it.
Yeah,
exactly. You know, and we have McFarlane Toys. We've got Eagle Moss doing a Discovery collection. We're going to be
Mobius
sitting in collectibles. Well, Mobius, yeah. It's good time. It's good time for Star Trek.
Can I jump back to one thing before we close out that Damien mentioned a little bit before? You said, you know, we have to give up our Star Trek. You know, it's not ours to give up.
Ownership.
Yeah, but also the look. You know, that's. You also got to remember that while Star Trek is taking this approach, Star Wars Episode 7, they went the everything's familiar. They went the people who were in the 70s when they had their Star Wars. Let's keep it looking the exact same, but updating it a smidge. So those people get to keep their original, but we don't. That seems a bit odd. I know the budget's bigger, that's absolutely fine, but me and Stuart both said, you know, you can easily update a TOS bridge with new monitors and make the communicator a bit sleeker, but keep the same design, and fans would adore it because we had a 2017 reboot. Star Wars proves, to some small degree, you know, that, you know, you don't have to change it to be better. You just update it in certain ways.
I completely agree with you, Samuel, but unfortunately the one thing is Star Wars was a movie and TOS was a TV show, and then you look at what you call it when we got the motion picture and the different direction that Star Trek went, It would have been great. And come here, I would be the first. Like if you look at the motion picture, if you could turn around and even say like kind of the technology from the bridge and the motion picture, even to the Radacan, that might have held up in 2017. But unfortunately, I just don't think the TOS bridge will do it. Don't get me wrong. That actually hurts me to say that. I don't think it'll attract the younger audience. For me, it would be fine. I would love it. That's why I still love Star Trek Continues, and I really hope that CBS will look at something like this. I'm plugging for Star Trek Continues. I like my TOS. I want to keep seeing it, but I think it's a fair compromise. I get to see some TOS. We get a new Star Trek show, and I'd be happy.
I agree with you. I just think I like the motion picture, but there are some crazy design choices in that you know, we'd probably be talking for another 2 hours. But if you were looking at production value, I think Chris is bang on there. That would be so much easier to translate from 1979, 1980s to 2017. Just like Star Wars had that grandeur, we could see it in its, you know, retro glory. But I do get that. But it's the whole ownership, as you mentioned there. You know, why do they get theirs and we don't get ours? But we're comparing, as Chris said, TV versus cinematic release.
The Trek fans are a bunch of whiny little brats that don't really deserve to have ownership.
We're the best thing really, and the worst thing for Star Trek,
Yeah, that's the thing I love most about Star Trek is the community. The thing I hate most about Star Trek is the community.
I love it.
It's a double-edged sword, especially when you run a page like Trekyards, or you do YouTube videos and you have the comments section. You see it all every day, and it's frustrating. But I understand the passion that's involved as well. It's just people need to. You can disagree with someone and do it productively, you know.
There's no need for name calling. You know, make your point. Yeah. There's no need to just because someone says one thing. You know, at the end of the day, there's so many different episodes of Star Trek. Maybe there's people out there that don't like them all. Maybe there's people that just like Deep Space Nine. Maybe there's people that and there is actually quite a lot of people that just like Star Trek: The Next Generation. That's cool by me. And there's a good few of us that like it all. And then there's a few, you know, but like everyone's entitled to share their belief in what part of the Star Trek universe that they like, what they love.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Doesn't mean their opinion is the right opinion. And they can't force it on people.
Exactly.
Make
no
your
one's
point.
right and no one's wrong.
Exactly.
You know, but even looking at this microcosm here, you know, we've got original series fans, TNG fans. I think Samuel, you said before, like you really were enamored by Voyager. I think it was you picked that as
one of your favorite. That was the one I watched at the time.
Damien, you're the JJ fan. Come on, put your hand up.
It's like everybody has their own Doctor Who, the doctor that introduced them to the series. So.
Exactly.
Although mine is because I watched on Sunday on UK TV Gold Omnibus. I watched like 2 hours a week. And we'll just say, Damien, if you are indeed the JJ lover of the group, having now got the JJ Prize 3D model, you know, as soon as you zoom in to a certain part of that, the actual quality they did, as soon as you zoom in right to the saucer, you can see that looks exactly like the refit. The way it's textured, the way it's the colours. As soon as you zoom up to the details of the phaser ball turrets, you see, you know, some details that you could literally never see on screen, but you appreciate the details of the model as, you know, you're like, wow, that's a beautiful, beautiful model. So there are some, you know, and we'll hopefully do a show about that soon, Stuart, where we really show, like, there are some amazing details on that ship that you never will be able to see, and they've never shown enough to appreciate. And that's the awful bit's still awful, but there's some really amazing, that makes you appreciate it way more, just because those silly little things, you know.
It's, you just screwed up what I was going to say. I was going to say on that positive note, we should close this out.
End it there. Fade out.
I'm honest. I'm just honest about the things.
It's funny though, but like even with JJ, like if you look at it now, like a lot of fans turned around when they seen Beyond because you know they got a lot of the canon part right. They got the dynamics. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? The Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Scotty relationships just was so good in the last movie.
Well,
you know
isn't it just crazy that you look back at 09 and their costumes look the same as TOS? I mean, they at least tried to stay visually similar. You now appreciate, oh wow, that's the TOS reboot that we did get that actually works quite well. It's just unfortunately the bad bits really do strike, you know, are worse than. But it's just like, wow, they really did try at least shape wise,
They had the cool filter applied to that movie, and like I I'd say
Different
about a week
director
ago
would have saved that. You know,
That's
wouldn't
like
have taken much.
about a week ago, I put up a Ryan Church concept of the Enterprise,
Mm.
and it was the one with
the proper color scheme.
Proper color scheme, proper deflector, proper, and it was like everyone on the comments was like, "If only I'd seen that ship."
I saw it before. I saw that before the movie came out, and that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
And then last minute, it's like, no.
Those films aren't far off. They're really not.
But like, you know, that's it. Like, but going back to my
story behind that. So you know, we found out again, executive decisions, what you call it, CBS and Paramount kind of broke their relationship, and we know for a fact that what you call it, the art department were told anything that you've seen that was done before, forget it. Mm-hmm. And that was some hard challenge for an art department to do a Star Trek movie and redesign the Enterprise, but you cannot use what was done beforehand. So, you know, I think, like, once I found that out, I kind of felt sorry for kind of like not liking the Enterprise as much. I think they did a hell of a job on those circumstances. Yeah, I loved Ryan Church's first concept artwork. It was absolutely fantastic. It was spot on. We all would have loved it, but
yeah,
they were told to drop it. So, you know, can't blame Ryan Church on that one.
That just brings me back to one last thing I kind of want to say, because you probably all want me to shut up. But, you know, being in a situation like we are, we've got a fantastic community, Nerd Escape and Discovery. We're blessed to have a lot of the creators be a part of our community as well. And I just wish people would respect their workmanship. They may not make the final decision. So like when they're lambasted in a design or a choice and stuff like that, you know, you can kind of see a bit of vitriol out there. I know it's the anonymity of the internet, but just, again, to see it from a production standpoint as well as a fan standpoint is all I'll say. And just appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into these fantastic universes that we have. But
well said. Shinzu looks awesome.
Yeah,
I'll shut up now.
It does, and well said, Damien, on that, because, like, you know, we do know with Star Trek Discovery there is a lot of Star Trek fans working on that show. And come here, think about it. If you were working on Star Trek and you're a Star Trek fan, how many hours are you putting in on something? You know, if they need a starship designed,
I do.
You will, exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? So these guys are probably working 14, 15-hour days to try and bring us something. And, you know, within 2 seconds, one idiot will criticize their work without even actually seeing an episode, which is very harsh. And again, go back to the writer's strike that was coming up. A lot of those writers were working around the clock to try and get scripts finalized. You know, again, kudos to those guys, you know, and it's very easy for anyone to come on and criticize somebody's work, but I think a good bit, and fair play to you, Damon, it needs to be recognized and said, thanks to everyone that's working on this show. It is tough at the moment, you know. Star Trek fans can be a nightmare. We will pull apart designs, but at the end of the day, it is much to appreciate.
And that was a perfect positive note to end on. So, guys, we're looking forward to your comments as well in the comments section. What do you think about Discovery? What do you think about the companion show? Now that you've had some time to mull over the trailer, and kind of, even if you watched our analysis of the breakdown of the trailer, which some people said was a little bit much, you know, looking at the corridors, but I mean, it's what we want to do. It's what we feel like we...
And you guys watched it. We had great views on all of them. So, hey, thanks for supporting us.
Yeah, so looking forward to hearing what you guys think. If you guys... Well, I want to thank you guys, both Damien and Chris, for joining us. It's been awesome talking to you guys. If you haven't checked out the Nerd Escape podcast, go do so. Subscribe to these guys, the Trek Collector and the Irish Trekkie. They are amazing, and they're good friends of us here at Trekyards. So anyway, if you like the video, click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video around. Let's get this talk about Discovery. Let's try to make a positive community here, guys. So again, guys, thanks for joining us, and looking forward to talking to you guys again soon.
Listen, thanks for having us, and ditto on everything you said, basically.
Awesome.
Always great to be on Trekyards, and keep up the good work, guys, and so long a fall from me.
All right, guys, so until next time, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Coggins.
I'm Irish Trekkie.
Oh, yeah. And I'm the Trek Collector.
And we'll see you guys in the future. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Wait for Chris. And then, Chris, bye. Say bye.
Bye.
There you go.
Perfect.